Alright, let's start you off in the garden on the FrostBack by Frostbite Genetics. So this is 2 plants that we're growing in the 4x8. And we're on day 3 of flower right now as we flipped on Saturday. We're gonna come in and probably tuck on Thursday when we come here in the morning time, as I got the week off work. So we want to keep it nice and flat, because when we come in on the weekend, we're going to put our trellis, our upper trellis to these high CFM bars. So we want to make sure that we can keep it nice and even with our lower trellis, and we have that little bit of space. Yes, this plant will grow above this. We're using this to spread out our colas once they start forming, to maximize our spread, and then we can strip down those colas and maximize what we can grow on these plants. I'm quite interested to see how these finish out. They look really good from what I've seen, what Frostbite has done, and let's see what I can do. I know I can do really good on this. Bring you in here. Our lung room, we're sitting at about 76.1 to 71.8, and we're about 53 to 50% humidity in the lung room. Our tent is about 66% humidity right now, and we were about 77, 78 with the doors closed. We're all once we come to the point of doing the lollipop and the defoil, that drops, but then we also increase our fan speeds and stuff to start exhausting much faster. But I just wanted to bring you in here, start this episode off on the 4x8, and this weekend we're gonna have to start thinking about what we're gonna put in here next, because we're coming up to will be the end of week 1 of flower, and we always start our run when this one is normally at the end of week flower. We used to do it at the beginning of flower, but our plants got too big like this, but now we do it at the beginning of week 1 of flower, at the end of week 1. This plant still got this big, but on average we have a decent size to bring in here. This one was a little more reasonable than that. You can go back to the other episode. It will be tagged at the end of this one to see how this was all set up. That would be episode 5.6. So I'll see you guys here on Thursday. Alright, we're here on the Thursday. We were getting a 1050. I don't know if it was I was hitting a different something, or something got mixed up better, because we went up a little bit on the pH. So 6.02, we're doing good. Swings are a little down than we were, not as hot, but we're still nice and outside. And this is all lung room. When I came in, we were at about 75 before I opened up the doors in the tent, and we were, where are we at now? We're at 67, 63. We were more about 66 on either side. So it's kind of changed with the doors open. Here's our ladies checking on how they're growing. So there's frostbacks. Again, this was the larger one. That one was the smaller one. We were just kind of switching up what side I put them on. We got the HLG side, we got room to go up, which is nice. On this side, we don't have much room to go up, so I'm gonna have to either figure things out if we want to, if our plant does grow tall. If it stays nice and squat, then we're okay. I was thinking about coming in here today and tucking, but I think that would actually possibly cause a problem if I were, because everything is growing quite evenly. And when we come in here on Saturday, we're going to put down our trellis net across these high CFM bars, and then we're going to use that to kind of spread out colas at that point. And then the next few weeks, we're going to let it grow in there. So, end of 2nd week of flower, we do our lollipop, and end of 3rd, we do a strip. I'm thinking that if we were to come in and do a bunch of tucking, we may keep, we may throw off the actual how even the plant is, more particularly on that side. This side, it could do it with some, but I'm more interested in seeing what we do with the second layer. We spread through the second layer and that's where we might get it. That first layer was really just trying to control these plants. These plants are tall. They were at least this tall before we brought them in here, and then we brought them all down. And that was, yeah, they were flipped on day 84. So by day 77 and day 74 of veg, when they were in the other tent, they got big, which is good. They're fast growing plants, very vigorous plants. Because most of the time I would have a lot smaller plant to work with at that time. So, and I kind of work on the basis of past experience, right? So what's worked in the past, what time frames worked in the past, I kind of use that as a guide. That's why I'm starting the run for this tent on the weekend, and we're gonna kind of go over what we're gonna start, because being at the end of the first week of flower on the weekend, that's when we do it. Got a lot going on down here, just due to the spread action that we had to do. We may actually clean up portions of this on the weekend, even though I won't do the full lollipop until the end of week 2. But some of the really low stuff that absolutely doesn't need any energy, we may come in because I think we're gonna have the time. Ice cream marker is still drying up. That one smells really nice. And pink lemonade, we just did a strip, so we're just kind of letting her go this weekend. So we definitely have the time to do it. I will see you guys here on Saturday. Alright, we're here on the Saturday, checking on our plants. Now, this is really nice and even, the way that this is growing right here. I'm quite happy with exactly how this has turned out. I'm happy we didn't tuck, because this is the way we want it. So we're going to be attaching our trellis to our bars today, and we're going to use that to kind of make sure that all these colas have their individual spread out holes. On this side, we're going to be doing the same. We're going to be making sure we stretch out and we have all that room in the middle for everything to grow into. But we're looking good. We went up a little bit on the pH over the last couple days, but our ppm, of course, stayed the same. Temperatures have swung down a little tiny bit in the lung room. When I came in here, we were actually sitting at 73, but we're in here in the morning. But it looks like we'll get up there, most likely to about 77 throughout the midday. But we also been enjoying a little cooler temperatures in the last couple days. We're gonna go back up and we'll see what happens. Now, today's plan is again the trellis net. And we may take off a little bit of this bottom, or we may just save that for next weekend. It all depends on how much time I have, because I got some stuff I got to do today as well. But let's get this trellis net on, set up, bring it back. Alright, now that we got that trellis net down, we kind of tucked and pulled some of our tops through. And we're going to continue to do that over the next couple of weeks. We're going to make sure each one has their own hole. And we're going to allow them to grow up. And on week 3, so in 2 weeks from now, we're going to strip out all the leaves down the size of the colas. Next week, we're going to do the lollipop. However, I did come in here and clean up a little bit, not quite all the way to the full lollipop, and not a perfect job, but just a bit, just to clean it up a little bit down here, so the plant won't focus on what's never going to be something, and we can also reduce the amount of humidity that was building up down here. Even though we got this intake and then we got that open face just blowing, giving us good air movement under canopy. But yeah, we grabbed all those off, so we did take off a fair bit. But we're going to take some pictures now and put our tent back, get it all tightened up and closed up, and we're gonna fill up our reservoir. But before that, we're gonna vacuum our bottom. I'm gonna get all those little leaf pieces out, and we're gonna get our trays empty. Right. I will bring you guys back here on Monday, and we'll see how they progress through this net. All right, it's that time. So we're gonna start a new run for our 4x8 now that we're at the end of week 1 of flower for the FrostBacks. We're gonna do some Fraser Valley beans. We're gonna do the Phantom fruit. So this is Phantom cookies crossed with Cherry Breeze. I really like the Cherry Breeze crosses. I did them a lot a couple years ago. So I want to kind of try them out and bring it back a little bit and try that flavor. Now that we have the freeze dryer, if we have really nice curves, I might do some fresh frozen as well. So these are regulars. I just wanted to bring in here to show you that we got a bunch of them here. So we're gonna start, I think. Now they are regulars, and we want to keep 2 of our best of the best females. So let's drop 10. There. So we drop 10 beans because we want to keep the best 2 females out of that. That saves us with 4 more, so we can try it again another time if we want to. A lot of times I'll just take off of these little stickers, and I'll just wrap it around the beans so I can know what they are for later. You'll notice that the water's a little off. The reason why is because we add kelp by raw, and this helps with the germination. When we with the gibberellic acids, they'll help for a more successful, stronger germination rate. Tomorrow morning we're gonna come in and we're gonna populate all 10 of these into 3-inch net cups. The reason why I use net cups is for the air. This gives good airflow to the roots as they start to develop, and it really keeps us moving forward and strong growth. Once we get, because we are doing 10 regulars, we will move them up to a 6-inch hydro cup, the net cup I should say. At that point we will find what are our keeper females from there, and those will go directly from there into their 5-gallon air pots. That's how these kind of play out and grow. We may, if we have time, we may move them from those net pots to the 1-gallon air pots if we need to, but we'll see. We'll bring you back tomorrow to populate some net pots with some seeds. All right, so we're here the next day. It's been about 16 hours since we started soaking these. I want to show you one thing though. Get this one to rotate a little bit. A little tap on that already. You can see right through. So we're assuming that we're gonna have a lot more tap in here. We just had this kind of inside the tent, but underneath it was a metal mixing bowl, just to keep it nice and dark but warm with the tent light and what have you. So we're just going to now make holes into each one of these. I'm just going to use this pencil, and we're going to go through and populate each one of these with a single bean. Ooh. Make sure you don't have any hard medium. And I'll get you guys on a time lapse, and we'll drop each one of these into here. We're just going to use a small little spoon. This is the spoon I always use for it, and here I'll show you just one. I'm just going to drop it, and then we're going to cover it up. So I'll bring you guys back after the time lapse. Alright, now that we brought you back, and you'll see there's another extra one. That's why I kind of stopped the time lapse halfway through. I might have put 11 in instead of 10 because I had an extra seed and when I was dropping them in. But one thing I wanted to point out is you may notice I did make sure that we get the seed down at least a half an inch. It wasn't at the beginning, but we kind of pushed it down before we closed it up. That's so we don't get helmet head. If it's too close to the top, the shell sometimes doesn't tear off the cotyledons on the way up from friction, because it's just not enough if it's too shallow. And you want that to open, because if that doesn't open up, those cotyledons can't start the photosynthesis and the plant will die. So you want to make sure that you're allowing that to happen, or you're going to have to get in there and pull it out off yourself very delicately. I'm just going to use the rest of the solution and kind of just put a scoop of each one of it on one of these, because it still has that kelp in it, and then we're going to top it up with a little bit of dechlorinated water from the hydrologic system, and we're going to cover these up and get them in the tent. So we'll bring you back when we're at that stage in the tent. We're here showing the phantom fruit now in the tent after we've put all those in. So like I was saying, we have 11 starts here. We're only going to keep 2 out of the best females, so that's why we've took ample amount to make sure that we can get our 2 good females. We are hooked in, as you notice, there's a probe in the side run here. That is regulated to the heat mat and the thermostat outside the tent. So whenever it dips below, I think I have it set to 26.5 Celsius, that kicks on, gets us nice and warm, and we just keep a good overall environment in here. And I've always had really good success with germination and cloning doing that method. But I just wanted to leave showing you guys where we're sitting, and we'll come back once we see something pop up. We won't be coming back until that happens. All right, we're here on the Monday, just seeing how these have popped through that second net that we've kind of installed on the weekend. And you'll see we got lots of colas that are kind of setting through their sites now. We got some ones over there, like this big tall one. Probably just grab him, maybe in a second. Just gotta train him and bring him over a little bit. And as they start to grow away, and if we can notice, because that would have had a bit of a dead spot underneath it anyways, we got some good potential off this way. We just try to maximize the one level area as much as we can. This was to be expected, to get a little bit more height here, because this is where the 2 plants are clashing together. Same with how this is going to the edge. We were able to actually spread out that one nicely to the point where we didn't have to really push it too hard, but she's actually on the other side of here, and this one's actually on the other side of there, along the center for a little bit, not much. Same with over here. We might train some into that space as they get a little taller, because that's a pretty full area, but I want them a little taller so we can get them in there first. And we'll just do this as we go in. This weekend we're gonna come in, we're gonna finish up the lollipop that we did, or started I should say. We'll have enough growth that we can really come to the bottom of this net, and anything underneath here will be nice and cleaned up, and then just focus on the part up here. But we gotta wait for that growth over this week. Bring you to the board. So yeah, we were hitting it at 1080 and a 6.11. It's still gonna go down. It was up at 6.5, 6.6, so I lowered it, and it will still drop. I just wanted to not overdo it and then come in tomorrow and see it like 5.5. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow when we're in here, and we'll adjust if necessary. But we'll see you guys on Thursday on this tent. I did tweak in the dome. Nothing new has popped up in there yet, but again, it's only about day 2, so I will catch you guys in this tent on Thursday, unless we see something new inside the dome. All right, we're here on the Thursday, checking on our ladies. So we're in week 2 of flower right now. We're doing really well. We're actually pretty So a few spots are a little higher than others, but for the most part, we're pretty even across. We're gonna allow these to kind of grow up a little bit more, but this weekend though, when we come in here, is we're really gonna be focusing on the lollipop. We want to try to get everything cleaned up to the bottom of that this layer, especially a lot of this stuff, because it's not going to do anything. We're allowing this to give it time to grow into the net, but we're going to clean this up, and the following week we'll do our defoliation. But for now, we're going to let all our colas still stack in and start building in that space to start putting buds on. This is turning out to be quite a full tent, which I've been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to a nice full side to side in here. Again, on the weekend, we may see what we can do for spreading, maybe around in there, to see if we can maybe bring some stuff out to give us some more light and airspace around. But it's mostly there. Here's not so bad. It's just mostly leaves, if you can see. Once their leaves are gone, it's going to be cleaned up, but that's a little more dense. So if I can bring it this way a little bit more, we'll see if we can do that. But we're looking good. We're looking healthy. I just have to vacuum this today. We're at 1020. We're at 6.12. Our lung room swings are 76 to 71, but our temps are about 75. It was the same temps when I opened the door in here. So we're doing really well. You see how I had to train some of this, right? Just keeping it. This was the big one on this side. This was the big one. This was the smaller one. So we'll see how she grows out. I will catch you guys in here on the weekend. We still haven't seen anything pop up yet on the phantom fruits. So we're gonna keep an eye on those, and they should start actually coming out today or tomorrow would be my thoughts. So I will show you when we start to get a little bit breaking through the top. I know I went down at least half an inch because I'm trying to avoid helmet head, so we might take a little longer to get to the surface, but we'll be good. All right, so we're here on the Saturday checking on this beautiful garden. It's really spreading out, turning out nicely. We're side to side on here. This is going to be a good yielding run. This is the side that we might do a little bit more, bringing some more branches this way, just to open up maybe a little more space here. We got a little bit of a valley here that we can maybe fill in. More on this side, because it looks like we got some over here that's going to do some. And actually this area back here looks like she's pretty set. Once the defoliation happens next weekend, I think we're gonna get a lot of bud sites throughout down these areas, so that's good. But I might want to bring some of these this way a little bit. Maybe bring these out a little bit and not crowd that space. But for the most part, we're kind of set where we want most of our plants to be, or colas, as we only have 2 plants in here. The other thing today is we are going to finish our lollipop. So we're going to come in, we're going to clean up all the leaves and lower branches that are really not going to do anything and perform well at all in the upper portion. We're going to get rid of that now. Keep it nice and fresh. We did a little bit last week. As you see, we cleaned up a bit, so it wasn't so aggressive this week. And that will allow all of this area to be focused on from the nutrients and the and the sugars that the plant makes to eat. So that's we're gonna get started on that. I'll bring you back. All right, now we're just coming here to show you. Here's that one side, and we come down here. And now we're totally cleaned up to the underside of that net. A lot of the small stuff that isn't going to do anything was taken out. Everything that's left is a good branch. That was one plant. We still need to come in and take out on this plant. We did do a little bit, of course, in the center where it crosses over, but we kept the majority to show you the difference. Okay, I'll do this and I'll bring you back. And that side is now cleaned up. We've vacuumed the bottoms, we've taken out all of our leaves, we emptied that out, and we've also gotten our trays all cleared out. We're looking great. We brought over a couple of the stems, not too many, or colas I should say, but I think that we're really gonna have a good progression with what we have here. And we're gonna see how this grows over the week. Next weekend, defoliation. We take out the rest of the leaves that are above that line so we can get our the light down to the lower canopy and mid canopy. It will help bring it in and make this dense and then add a lot more weight to our end. So just want to kind of show you from the side, all cleaned up, lollipop to the bottom of that first trellis net. That's that scrog layer that we use to really kind of stretch it out. And then this is our spreader layer, which is we're going to use to spread the colas and support the colas when they start to get a little thicker later on in life. But I will bring you guys back here on Monday. See you guys then. Alright, so here we are. You got one kind of doing what it needs to do to come up. But the rest of these I've kind of gone through and checked them. They're not happy. I kind of overdid it with the water on this, and we may be restarting this run later today or tomorrow. A lot of these didn't work out, and it's a user error. I don't normally make this mistake. I normally have a really good germination rate, so I thought it was really weird. And as you see, I kind of went through and checked all of them. Only this one kind of came through. On another run, we did have a good successful, but only one happens. I'm just kind of here to show you, and the reason why you don't want to oversaturate these, because you can really mess them up. The lack of oxygen to this root zone is what caused those to fail as soon as they started. So I most likely will be restarting this. We're gonna check it tomorrow. We don't have anything tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then. All right, we're here on the Monday morning. It's be day 16 of flower. Checking on our ladies and how they're really spreading evenly across. Looking really nice. A lot of tops. Other side over here. A little bit of a valley here, but that's okay. These have grown up more than they were, which is nice. Really nice nodal spacing. We're gonna have some good fill-in. We got lots of good fill-in room. Come off to the side here. From our cleanup we did on the weekend. Nice and fresh down here. Lots of air movement. This is great for the plant. You don't want the microclimates down here, nor do you want the plant to be focused on anything that's not gonna make it. Hence why we're focusing just on our tops here. So after checking the starts this morning, I have decided I am going to start a new run. It's going to be a different run because I only got 4 of those phantom fruits left. So we're going to do a silver Rhino, which is a super silver haze mixed with white Rhino, I believe. I'll have to I'll give it a look when we're at the house tonight, and we'll go over exactly what the cross is. And we're going to start those. And we're not gonna overdo it with the water this time like I did last time. Silly mistake, rookie mistake I made. But you don't want to starve your starter plants from oxygen, and that's what happens when you overwater. And they will have problems. Only one of, I think there was 14 in total in that entire run. Only one made it. The other one went upside down because it didn't know what to do. So we're gonna start again, and we're gonna do it right this time. So I'll catch you guys at the house when we start the next run. All right, so we're gonna start the silver Rhino. So it's super silver haze crossed with medicine man regulars from Fraser Valley. All right. So I already kind of let's just get you right out here. So we got our solution of kelp. We pulled out 8 We're gonna do 8 off the bat here. As you can see, we got them all in there. And we will move those to the net pots tomorrow. And again, we will not overwater like we did last time. We're gonna take care of these. We're gonna see a lot more sprout this time. All right, here we go. Checking on that FrostBacks. They're doing really well. We're stacking in really nice. We're gonna be coming in here this weekend and stripping out leaves, doing our defoil, kind of bringing light and air movement down to the sides of these canopies on both sides. Well, it's now one canopy, as you see, right across the board. We're nice and full. Quite happy with how this run is turning out so far. Come down the sides and show you how she looks. You see, nice and cleaned up. Underneath that net, keeping her nice and fresh, lots of air movement. You can see the little thing whipping around in there. Not so much air, it's kind of moving. And up top, we're looking good. So yes, defoliation weekend. And of course we only have we have in between here to do. So we're just going to be taking out all of our large fan leaves up to just these top ones. We kind of leave the top 2 or 3 leaves, immature leaves, because as they grow in, they're gonna become very much better at photosynthesis than some of the older ones. They do lose their strength over time. But there's also a lot of new leaves that are coming in with these bud sets, which are gonna take over this whole canopy. So we gotta get in here, we gotta take out these fan leaves when we can, and we'll have a lot more solar panels, if you will, come in too. See, we got it. Pretty nice filling all the way through. That's going to be a real nice looking cola stacked. She's right underneath the quantum board too, so that's going to have a nice stacking. We've got some nice pillars around here. We're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4 pillars, and then a whole bunch of buds. All right, I'll catch you guys here on the weekend. All right, we're here on day 21 of flower. Today is the defoliation day. These plants are quite far developed for day 21. Give you an example. Here's my thumb, and I got a large thumb. We're thumb-sized buds already. This is fantastic. We got a lot of trichome development already. This means that when I come in here, I gotta be careful as shit. I'm gonna use gloves to keep my oils from my hands off of the trichomes. And we're gonna try as much as we can not to bump around these colas. You see, it definitely needs the work. We haven't even touched it. But because of the height, I think that we're not gonna have an overly difficult time, because it's not too tall, it's not too short. There's a lot of room underneath, so we can get up and grab some leaves that way, and there's a decent amount of room this way, so we can get in there. And the spacing in between is looking good. So this is the defoliation day. This is one of the most amount of works in the tent. I would say that while the plants are alive, this is the most amount of work. Followed by yeah, and then bucking is a fair bit of work too, when you're taking the buds off the actual stems. It doesn't seem like something that would take a while, but it does when you got a lot of colas. I normally get about 140 to 160 colas, like sticks, when I'm in here. There's a fair bit. I only know that because I use hangers and I have 12 of them that have 10 on each, and sometimes there's double to each. So I'm just gonna say it's gonna be 120 plus. It's gonna be closer to 130, 140. Well, that's more like it. So bucking takes a while, And then of course trimming takes the longest. But we're gonna have a lot of like you can see a lot of these are just covered. A lot of potential in here. This is gonna be a high yielding run. And if we're already this large at day 21, I can see that we may even potentially get quite large when we get to the end of week 9, because these are day 63 harvest plant. We want these are different. We'll have to see when we get there though. We'll look at trichomes, but that's what the breeder says it's a 9 week, 8 to 9. All right, let's get to work. All right, so I just wanted to show you quickly kind of the progress. I'm gonna charge the GoPro to get ready for the next time lapse on this side. The reason why I'm kind of turning it off now, I just want to kind of show you how we're getting to space. But we're gonna have to go underneath the trellis to get to the back side and do a lot of work along the back side. It's not gonna be lot to see if I'm under there. So we'll bring you back when I'm done this side, show you what it looks like before we start the next one. All right, so here's that side all stripped down. I may actually take maybe a couple more off that one. Coming down the sides to show you how we're all opened up in there. Light can get down to that lower canopy, really fill it in, bulk these up, and you see the amount of light that we get underneath now. This will disappear within the next couple of weeks when all these other leaves from these bud sets starts really filling in. But you can see the difference between the one that isn't done and the one that is done. We're also over the week's gonna be picking off these little guys. They're not gonna do anything down here. So keep it nice and fresh downstairs. Come up here. Like I said, I'm gonna take off a couple more that I just noticed as I was turning the camera on. And then we're gonna go start on the other side. We're gonna time lapse the front bit as much as I can before we get underneath and start working up the back where you're not gonna see as much. And here we are on the other side. Totally completed. We're gonna leave some of the ones in the back there. I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna cause more damage to try to get to them than it's worth. And they're actually in the back, not covering much anyways. I got the ones across the front of that cola. So looking at it throughout, we can see all of our bud sites now no longer covered. You have a great amount of space in between now. Now we're gonna allow our plant to fill in. We're not gonna hit it again like this, of course. We only do that once, and it's to get rid of all the stem leaves. So we allow our buds to fill in. And you see these, we don't ever touch those when you're defoliating, but those leaves within the next couple of weeks are gonna fill in around the buds, and it's gonna look perfect. Nice and clean under here. We're just gonna hit this with a little bit of a vacuum, get all the leaf pieces off the ground here. But that's the defoliation done. We're all opened up now. I'll bring you guys back here on Monday. We'll see how she looks then. And one thing we are gonna do too is with the reservoir, we're dropping the extra CalMag. Now that we're at this stage, there's still calcium in the feed. It's no extra, we don't need it. But we're gonna add some potassium sulfate. Grab this from my hydro store. So this is just bulk. That is greenhouse grade. It will be completely disappears in solution. We actually already used it when I fed the 2x2 when I showed up. So it works nice. And we'll be adding that to our reservoir this time around. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, we're here on the Monday coming to finish off this episode on the main stage, showing you kind of how all our colas are looking. So this is 2 days after we've gone through and did our defoliation. As you see, all the colas are happy, leaves are up. We didn't bump them overly hard, so all of our pistils or stigma are nice and white still. We didn't damage them, we didn't get in there. And we're not going to skip a beat. These are going to continue to fill in over the next 40-ish days. I think we're day 23 right now, right? So it would be about 40 days until harvest. We got some time for swelling. And that's give or take. We'll be checking trichomes, but we'll come down here and show you. Look at, we're nice and opened up. Lots of light down here. The light will disappear once a lot of these buds start to grow in. A lot of those bud sites start to expand and their leaves start to expand in those areas. But for now, we got a good amount of airflow. We're just gonna hit this with a vac and suck them out and get all nice and ready. But I think we have a very good start to this run. This is gonna definitely hit some good numbers, I think, on the yield. We've definitely opened up down the sides a little more than we did on the last run. I think I haven't been doing it as much as I should be, but because I've gotten to the point of doing it too much. So I need to find that happy medium. Looking good throughout. But yeah, man, in even 3 weeks time, this is gonna be crazy. I look forward to showing you on the next episode. So I'll see you then. Have a fantastic day.